Hello, how are you?
Nice to see you again.
Again.
So for us, it's tradition to visit your showroom.
Yeah, now from 3 years, I think.
3 years, third time.
Yeah, third
We're
time. Thank
here.
you a lot.
Yes, because we like you, and all Russian market is fantastic about your collection.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So please, as usual, we'll be happy to know more about new collection.
Yeah.
What inspired you? New colors, new structures, new textures.
So this year we have a very large program, but the most important program is the luxury program. We decide to, like you can see around me, to have something very elegant, very international style, and for that, and we want to include some handmade fabrics. It's a very high level. Year after year, we try to go to the top. I think it's good for Nobilis. Nobilis is very good to sell some very
philosophy of
the philosophy of Nobilis. I think we are very good to sell some very luxury fabrics. So year after year, we try to be more and more luxury. But after we have small part with some very fresh and bright collections. So we are always on 2-3 different markets.
So this year you go this different directions.
Yeah.
You have both. Some elegant and some bright
very bright and
some
fresh. Because
crazy.
never forget, I work for all the world. Nobilis have showroom everywhere in the world. So there are so many different tastes in the world. Russian people don't like the same product of Californian people, from European people. So Nobilis work for everybody in the world. So we need to have some product who fit perfectly with the different tastes in different markets.
Okay, I see. So what's the name of this collection?
Oh, the name of the collection is Kerilos. Kerilos, it's a very antique villa who have been built in south of France, and it's a very antique villa with antique Greek inspiration. So we start of this idea of antique fabrics, and after we adapt this idea to something more modern, to 2018. So it's for that, for example, we use so many handmade. Geometric, but with antique fabric on the ground.
Is it
this is
wool?
raw silk.
Raw silk.
The yarn is handmade and it's hand woven. Everything is handmade. So of course.
So it's a masterpiece.
Yeah, this is a masterpiece.
So I can't even imagine for the price of this
No, price is okay. Price is okay. And what is funny, it's to print on the top with flat screen some geometric pattern. So what I like, the contrast with the very antique fabrics plus the new geometric pattern. So something, we always try to find some new idea.
And this is print.
It's a print, flat print, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And just here, for example, we embroidered. So this is again a real raw silk. More heavy yarn.
It is fantastic, soft touch.
Very soft. It looks like a scarf, And we embroider on the top with always geometric pattern. So I like the contrast.
I would like to have the cord from this.
Yeah, look at the curtain. It's, look again. This one is for very fancy pattern, different stitching to make all the per colorway. Always on raw silk.
Also raw silk and embroidery.
This one is just a simple embroidery to have a very elegant texture, very usable. I always take care when we create something. It's always some usable fabric, because sometimes it's very easy to make a crazy fabric, but you can't use it. A fabric, it's to make a curtain, it's to cover a sofa. So I always try to have some very usable product.
It must be calm and at the same time luxury.
Luxury. And I think you never forget, because my fabric do not exist with interior designer, because the interior designer will make something, I need the guy who makes the sofa, because my fabric never exists if I don't have a sofa, So you need to stay very on your place. I just make fabrics, and after there are some professional people who use our fabrics. So for that, we always make some usable fabrics, And when we create a fabric with my assistant, with my studio, I always say to my assistant, never forget how we will do when we will make a curtain, we will cover a sofa, armchair, never forget that. And here, for example, we have this is amazing. It's some raffia. But we have broken and wash again. So at the end, the hand
because
is very
of this,
shabby.
it became softer.
Yeah, become softer. So it's very interesting to have. It look like very antique fabric, something very raw, you know,
Raw,
brutal, yeah, handmade. And at the end, it's very interesting texture because it's very new, you know.
So you propose to use this for upholstery?
Yeah, this is for upholstery. All the small samples,
So
this is for upholstery, big one.
Big one curtain.
Curtain quality. What I have more in this collection. This one too. This is a pure jacquard. On the same spirit, we use some bouclé, some irregular yarn, and we have some floating yarn on the background, just to add some new color inside. It's some very heavy quality, but like you can see, it's so chic, very, very chic.
And what about colors? So this collection is very calm, very neutral.
Yeah, very neutral because I work so much for Louis Vuitton, I work so much for Chanel, Dior, all the very luxury brands come in our showroom to buy the fabric to make all the showroom everywhere in the world. So now you can identify a very luxury style. For example, Louis Vuitton have always a very elegant style with ivory mixed with some gold. And it's a very new international luxury style, you know. And for example, now when I make some showroom to Louis Vuitton, we do the same in Moscow, and we do the same, in Milan or in London, in Dubai. So this kind of color, all this spirit, it's definitely the new luxury style. Look behind me, we are some very old gold mixed with some very light gold. This is the spirit of the new
very
luxury.
soft tones.
Very soft. You know, I think it's
but structure is important.
Yes,
and
texture, because when you are
fresh.
very soft, when you don't have a huge pattern, you need to have some detail who makes the difference. And fine detail, very fine detail. There are some people prefer some crazy pattern, very strong. Me, I prefer just the detail who make a difference.
Can we look at this pillow?
Yeah.
So I think it's a fantastic masterpiece.
This is a masterpiece. Yeah, we have
so
a satin
what is
cotton.
it? What is this small thing?
Yeah, the idea. I was thinking to the moon. You know, when you see the
moon surface.
Moon surface.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I always dreaming about crazy things. But so the idea. So we print a texture on satin cotton, and we embroider the small dots with a lot of relief here. So we are, a moon story.
Moon story. Okay.
Well, I'm always dreaming, and this one, for example, I love this one. I was thinking to Jackson Pollock, the American painter who made some dripping. So that's the same, but we do it with embroidery, but with some very light color. I like crazy detail, arty reference. I like the arty reference.
Here we have moon, here we have art, here we have antique villa.
I'm dreaming a lot.
Everything.
I'm dreaming a lot. And
beautiful
look after,
colors.
Yeah, we have a large program in beige, but after you have some more bright color here. Just, dreaming. Look that.
What do you think about yellow? Is it good for
the yellow,
2018?
the yellow, a little bit greeny come back. And of course this color come back again. Look that, always a raw silk. Oops, raw silk plus embroidery in yellow. Hop, again raw silk print. All the colors fit perfectly with the background. We are very raw, And the same of the luxury ivory look. The very dark color came back. Everything is very ink color, blue mixed with some dark color. We sell it very well. It's more dramatic, a little bit more masculine.
I remember that previous yet was one of the most important colors for you.
And we sell it very well, And look that. It's okay. Sometimes we have very neutral beige color, but this is the color of Nobilis. This is the red of Nobilis.
Red?
Yes, it's our red, terracotta.
Your unique red.
Yeah, and okay, that's the spirit of the collection. This is a sheer with a like antique shear. We have some linen yarn mix. The linen is very raw. We have some silk, and after we have some very fine lurex yarn. So I always mix something very raw and something very rustic. So like this, you look like more antique fabric.
To mix.
Yeah, to mix a lot.
And again, very soft touch.
Yeah,
Again.
I'm terrible for that. I love so much the fabric, so we try to wash. Mostly of our fabrics have been washed before to sell, so like this we are sure. We try to broke the fabric sometime. We use some huge machine to broke the fiber.
Like colander?
Yeah, like yes, like a wash
Wash machine.
the same, but huge, and without water.
I have seen your luxury glamorous collection.
Yeah.
And here, what is this display shows?
This is like I told you, we work for everywhere in the world. So there are so many people who have, sunny place and who need some more relaxed collection, bright color, linen base, because the linen is very fresh. When you live in very hot countries, not like you, sorry, for Russian people, but for people who live around Mediterranean, and for people who live in US, who have East Coast, LA, Los Angeles. So Nobilis work for everybody in the world. So we create this collection very bright, very fresh. So all the base are, on first we have a lot of print, because print is always very fresh fabric. So all the base are linen ground, pure linen, and we print some jungle with some monkeys.
Is it a traditional screen printing?
Yeah. No.
It's not digital?
Not digital, no, not on Nobilis.
Not on Nobilis,
And
okay.
this is a very traditional pattern from 1950. I like when it looks like a little bit vintage, pattern. For example, the spirit here, we try to be very inspiration was Capri, in Italy. Capri, 1960, very rock and roll, pop, something like this. So we always have some idea here, and after we try to create the collection. And we have some very, very strong pattern like this, very hearty, you can see on the curtain behind, very fresh. Here we have very fresh, it's, this flower, we call that lunaria, I forget. It's you open and after, no, I forgot.
We don't know.
I don't know how you say that. Maybe you don't have in Russia, it's too cold for this flower.
Maybe.
Okay, so this is a European flower, sorry. We print and we embroider around, okay, so we go on two machines to make that. All the fabric are simple but usable. Okay, look this one. It's a jungle. This is an old document. I use a lot of old documents. In my studio with drawing, I will say 60% of the collection. And sometimes I buy some very old document like this, Another one, embroidery, simple, it's some leaves, but it could be a little bit Japanese because they are very simple, So all the collection is very fresh.
Oh, blue.
Yeah, blue, because blue is always perfect for the sunny place. And we have some upholstery quality, and it's a pure cotton quality. And the idea, it looks like, in France, in south of France, we wear some espadrilles. The fabrics shoes in south of France, we wear, yeah. In 1960, we use this kind of fabric, very small scale, 3 color, and normally we make shoes with that in south of France. So it's a little bit revival inspiration, Very small scale, so perfect to coordinate with a big pattern,
So this collection is very much inspired by 60s?
Yeah. 60s, sunny place, Capri, we are thinking about...
Happy collection.
Yeah.
Monkeys
again. Oh. Look that in blue. We have
like
some...
indigo style.
Yeah, indigo color, always perfect for...
What do you think will be one of the most popular this year?
Depends. The yellow came back. Yellow come back. Yeah. I will say in Europe more yellow. Yellow come back a lot. It's amazing.
Yellow, little bit green.
Yellow, little bit green. Not the yellow orange. The yellow greeny.
Green.
Yes, everybody loves that. And Always the blue duck color. It's always my best seller. Always, always. In velvet, you can't imagine how many kilometers of blue duck velvet.
Okay.
This is the colors, okay. Again, another pattern, very Capri 1960 inspiration. We are on a very heavy linen, and the linen has been washed. It's very
soft.
Yeah, very soft. All my fabrics are very soft, you know. I think everybody, you know, the first things you do when you select a fabric is to touch like this. So when you touch something like this,
and you don't like,
you
don't buy.
Of course, of course. All the fabric need to be soft. Look, the embroidery. And after, we are talking about the famous yellow. Here is. We have a large program in yellow because we have so many requests. Yellow mixed with black and red. So this is some new association of color, you know. Look at the heavy quality in linen in yellow.
Black and white.
Black and white, always and always. It's always success, black and white. You can sell that everywhere. You know, in Russia, young people like black and white. In US, the same. In Sweden, the same. So black and white is very modern, you know, usually.
And all over the world,
yeah,
it's
the same,
universal.
Yeah, universal. Look, my monkeys in black and white. Look
Again,
that.
this flower, we don't know.
The flower you don't know in Russia. Sorry for you.
We will learn.
But
Next
look that
time
on
we'll
the
know.
photo shooting, we mix with a very pale pink.
Beautiful
it's
combination.
Black and white plus this color. It's amazing. Huh? And of course, looks again. This in black and white. All the pattern become more modern. It's funny, you know. Look, I like the association. It's gray, black, and a little bit yellow. So it's a very fresh, very bright and soft. And we always have some beige. Because there are some people who are afraid by color. So, okay, we always develop some beige colorway. So that was the collection. Very funny to do it.
Botanica.
Yeah.
The name.
The name is Botanica. That means, you know, Botanica, you can understand.
The same word in Russian.
Yeah, that's the same for you? Okay. So it's because we use so many flowers, leaves, different trees, just to, you know, to find the name of the collection is always terrible because I prefer drawing or working on the quality name. It's another problem. So, but it's funny in our company to do that and to do very luxury. I like. It's very interesting to make some very different collections. And Nobilis always work everywhere. So we need to have.
Which collection you think will be better for Russian market?
Difficult to say.
Maybe this elegant?
Maybe the luxury, I think, because this kind of product are too fresh for your country. Because it's so cold in Russia.
Maybe it's better for Spanish.
Spanish,
even for Africa.
Italy, South Africa. Yeah, of course. For the Hampton in LA, you know. For Russia, people in Russia, my sales are very good. Everything look like very luxury. I sell very well in Russia, you know. Russian people love Nobilis. Thank you for that. We love you too.
Because
but
we
before,
like luxury and classic designs, and both we can find in Nobilis.
Yeah, but I remember 10 years ago in Russia, I just selling classic pattern. Classic only. And now changing. All the new generation prefer more modern collection. That's changing. The same. For me, Russia and Dubai is the same. Dubai, before I always sell just classic pattern, you know, damask. In Russia, the same. And now, young people are completely different. Because I think everybody traveling everywhere. It's you can go everywhere. And before, you know, all the country was so different.
Separate.
And now, no separation. Everybody's traveling everywhere. You know, so at the end, everybody, all the new generation have the same style. Not exactly, but you know, you can feel something very near.
Yes, that's because some borders, borders
are broken, you know.
Yes.
And it's easier for us, for example, for me to make a collection. The same collection, I can sell it everywhere in the world. I remember when I was young, 30 years ago, I was working just for Russia, just for US, just for Sweden, I was separating. And now, with one collection, you can sell it. But I will say it's just for the luxury collection. for the very well-educated people, the more rich people, of course. Sorry for the other one, but, no, but that's true. I'm honest. I'm very honest. I would say yes for rich people. Now, there you can identify everywhere in the world the same style. Something very luxury, very modern, and this is a new generation. So I don't know if it's well or not, but that helped me, so I'm very happy.
What do you think about this new popular style in the world, hygge style?
I love it. I think it's something new. I'm a creative people, so I always love new
things.
Yeah, new thing. It's boring for me, the old thing, When I create a collection, for me, I don't like her. I like the next collection. So I'm always interested by new style, new idea, new generation. It's something new, and creativity is. I respect the creativity a lot.
So what do you think about handmade fabrics?
Oh, that's for me.
It's the main trend for the future year, you think?
Yeah, more and more. We try to have, because I think there are too many products on the market, so many. You need to find the difference. And for Nobilis have been always a very luxury brand. And for me, the real lux now, it's not the bling bling, the gold. No, the real lux, it's handmade, because it's, the fabric is alive. It's not something mechanic, industrial. And me, I feel that. I don't know if my customer can feel that. But, when you imagine a guy, who are working on handloom, I have too much respect for these people, because it's hard to do that. And
we should give soul to the fabric.
Yes. And, I like when it's irregular, you feel the life, and sometimes when the fabric is so perfect, it could be boring, I like when you feel the hand of the man or the woman who have done that. For example, we have a collection of wall covering, completely handmade. Handmade. It's amazing. It's a huge work to do that. But, if you have some customers who are well educated, they understand that and they pay for that. And for me, this is a real lux.
Great.
Lux, it's not gold.
We agree with you, 100%.
Yeah.
And I think Russian people, Russian designers, will love your collection and will use it in most luxurious projects.
Thank you. I hope. We cross a finger. No.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
No,